Om 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 Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavad Dhitadmastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः. So yesterday we saw the 19th verse. Actually we saw from verses 21 to 24 or 25 I think, but we reversed a little bit and went from the 15th verse onwards. Yesterday we saw to the 19th verse. So bhutagramaha स एवायं भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते रात्र्यागमे अवशः पार्थ प्रभवति अहरागमे. So when the day comes, the person manifests in this world. Day means a day of Brahma. The individual jiva manifests in the world. When the night of Brahma comes after thousands of manvantras, night of Brahma comes, they go to sleep along with the Brahma Loka, along with all the lokas. So until I realize who I am, there is no end to this going and coming. Bhutva bhutva praliyate. After manifesting again, becoming, dissolving into this state of prakriti and not yet completely formed. So the 20th verse, parastasmato bhavonyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yassa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. So the apara, what is not the end, no, what is where we go and come, that is destructible. But this paraha, the supreme Brahman, tasmatu bhavaha anyaha avyaktaha avyaktat sanatanaha. Yaha, whoever, that Akshara Brahman, tasmat avyaktat, anyaha, is different from that prakriti, which is the Akshara. Para, uttamam, the best. And avyakta, it is not seen also. You cannot see it with your sense organs. You cannot experience that supreme Brahman with your sense organs. Like how we cannot actually grasp space. We cannot touch and see space. We can only experience, have the knowledge that space is here. We cannot really poke into space. We cannot press space. We cannot push space. We cannot bring down space. We cannot lift up space. We cannot carry space. We cannot do anything with space because we cannot perceive it physically with our senses. Brahman is even more subtle than that. So it is not perceived by the senses. It is avyakta. It is unmanifest to our senses. Sanatanaha. This Brahman is very, very ancient. Satu bhavaha, that Brahman, sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. That presence of Brahman, the bhava of Brahman, Brahman is, there is an astitva, there is Brahman, there is Atman. That isness does not die even when the being dies. Even when the dead body is there, we say the dead body is. We don't say there is nobody here. The dead body is. The living person is. The tree is. The animal is. The plant is. The earth is. The chair is. The table is. That isness is na vinashyati. It does not die at all. It is always there. Paraha vyatiriktaha bhinnaha. Paraha means it is different from, it is vyatirikta, it is the other, it is another from. Kutaha tasmat purvoktat. From what? From the previous mentioned apara Brahma, this para is vyatirikta, different from. Tu shabdaha aksharasya vivakshitasya avyaktat vailakshanya pradashanartha. Tu means to show some difference. The word is the tu. Parastasmat tu bhavonyo. The yes, the previous verse. Tu. Satu bhavaha. That bhava in this verse, the word tu. Indeed, व्यतिरिक्तत्वे सति अपि सालक्षण्य प्रसंगः अस्ति इति तद् विनिवृत्त्यर्थम् आह अन्य इति. व्यतिरिक्तत्वे सति, even though it is different, salakshanya prasangaha, it could feel like, because this is akshara, there is also kshara, the word kshara is there, it could feel like they are the same. Asti iti tad vinivrityartham aha, just to show that it is different. This Brahman is, and it is different from that apara Brahma. Anyaha vilakshanaha sacha avyaktaha anindriya gocharaha. This avyakta, unmanifest, is beyond the senses. It is beyond the perception of the senses. Paraha tasmat iti uktam kasmat punaha paraha. It is different from that. It is said. It is different from which? Purvoktat bhutagrama bija bhutat avidya lakshanat avyaktat. This Parabrahma is different from that Apara Brahma, whose nature is avidya, whose nature is ignorance, whose nature is darkness, whose nature is shadow. Sanatanaha, Chirantanaha. Chirantanaha means it is very, very ancient, this Brahman. Yaha sabhavaha sarveshu bhuteshu brahmadishu nashyatsu na vinashyati. This presence of the Brahman, even if all the beings in this world are destroyed, this Brahman never gets destroyed. The next verse, 21st verse. Avyaktoksara ityuktaha tamahuh paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Avyaktaha aksharaha ityuktaha. Avyaktaha, unmanifest. Aksharaha, indestructible, the Brahman. Iti uktaha, it is said so. Tam ahuhu, that Brahman, it is said, paramam gatim, it's a supreme space to which we can go. Meaning, there is no going in this Brahman, actually speaking. Like, for example, if I have to go from here to Delhi, I have to move out of this house. I have to take some means of transport, and after a period of time, depending on what means of transport I'm going, after a period of time, I will reach Delhi. But to move from this chair to this chair, this seat in this chair, to this seat in this chair in the same position, do I have to do anything? I don't have to do anything. I am here already. So it is the same way. Brahman is like that. Yam prapya. So reaching Brahman means just being aware of that presence of Brahman. Yam prapya na nivartante. Once that Brahman is reached, we do not come back into this world, into this physical matter. Tadhama paramam mama. That is my supreme abode, says Bhagavan. Says Bhagavan, Sri Krishna is talking to Arjuna. He is describing the many facets of Adi Agnya, Adi Atma. He says Purushaha. Purushaha is that which is spread over this Daiva. This Daiva is that Purusha which is spread in a subtle body. Puri Shayanat iti Purushaha. That Purusha's Dhama, the abode of that Purusha is this Brahman. Dhama means my swarupam, my own nature. That part which never gets destroyed. Rupam means form. Swarupa means the content of that form. Yaha asau avyaktaha akshara iti uktaha tam eva akshara samyakam avyaktam bhavam ahuhu paramam prakrishtam gatim. So, yaha asau avyaktaha akshara iti uktaha. That which is called akshara, tam eva akshara samyakam, that which is called akshara, avyaktam bhavam, which is unmanifest, ahuhu paramam prakrishtam gatim, is my supreme abode, supreme, what to say, destination. Yam bhavam prapya gatva na nivartante. When I reach that supreme destination, samsaraya tad dhama sthanam paramam prakrishtam mama vishnoho param padam iti. That is the supreme abode of Vishnu. Once Vishnu means vyapakatvat iti Vishnu, that which pervades everything is Vishnu. Once I have reached that supreme abode, there is no return from that place. I am comfortably settled in life. Tal labdhehe upaya uchyate. Now, how to reach that? One thing is to say, go to Delhi. But how to go to Delhi? I don't know how to go to Delhi. So go to that Brahman. How to go to Brahman? Tad upaya uchyate. Purushassa parah partha bhaktya labhyastvananyaya yasyantasthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. Purushaha sa paraha partha. How is that supreme Purusha reached? How can you reach that Brahman? How can you reach that Vishnoho padam? How can you reach the abode of Vishnu? With love. Bhaktya labhyaha to ananyaya. What kind of love? One-pointed love. One-pointed action is doing only one thing with our body, mind, intellect, senses, focusing on one thing. That makes our mind one-pointed. And with that one-pointed mind, we give all our love to that one thing, which is that supreme Brahman. Bhaktya labhyaha. The Brahman is attained by one-pointed love. Yasya antasthani bhutani. That Brahman, which is present within every being, yena sarvam idam tatam. That by which this whole universe is covered, is pervaded with. That Brahman, which is present in every being, that is attained by love alone, single-pointed love. That is why it is called devotion, because we vote, we delimit our vote to that Brahman only. We don't expand our vote. We don't cast our vote everywhere. We don't waste our vote. We just put it in one focused concentration into that Brahman. So that is how one person wins in the election. When everybody puts their vote in one concentrated person, then that vote becomes power. That same way, I vote for this Brahman alone. I don't vote for this and that. I don't vote for the body. I don't vote for the mind. I don't vote for the intellect. I don't vote for my desires. I don't vote for my miseries. I don't vote for my anger. I don't vote for my hatred, jealousy. I don't give my energy for all this. I give all my energy to that Brahman with love. Then I can reach the Brahman. Brahman is very demanding. He needs all our attention. You need some small children. Mother will be having the baby in her hip, and then mother will be talking to somebody, maybe gossiping or some other television story. She'll be talking to somebody. The baby will push the mother's face and and make the mother turn towards the baby. This Brahman is like that baby. He doesn't like our attention going here and there. He wants all our attention and everything of it, and he wants only our attention. He doesn't want anything else from us. He doesn't want work from us. He doesn't want money from us. He doesn't want anything else from us. Everything else he has got. He wants love. He wants our attention alone. That attention only in Brahman, everywhere it is present. In Brahman, the attention is not focused. So that focused attention only, that we can be very proud that we have. That one thing that Brahman doesn't have is a focused attention which can be given to Brahman. For whose sake? Not for the sake of Brahman, for our own sake, that we may be one with Brahman. We may reach the destination called Brahman. Purushaha Purishayanat Purnatvat Vasa Purusha Paraha Partha Paro Niratishayaha Yasmat Purushat Na Param Kinchit Sa Bhaktya Labhyaha. Yesterday we saw all this. So this Brahman is attained by devotion. We will go to the next verse. We'll see the brief meaning. Yatra kale tvanavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginah prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami bharatarshabha. Oh, I will tell you, Arjuna. Yesterday we have seen this verse. Yatra kale tu anavrittim avrittim chaiva yoginah. In which period, if I strive to go towards that Brahman, I will not return. And in which period, if I strive and if I do something else, and if I leave the body, then I will return. Prayata yanti tam kalam vakshyami. I will tell, O Bharatarshabha, the Rishabha, the bull among all the Bharatakula Vamsha. I will tell at what time, at what state, when you go, you will reach that Brahman and not come back, that supreme place, and what stage you will come back. And the next verse also we have seen yesterday. Agnir Jyotiraha Shuklaha Shanmasa Uttarayanam Tatra Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahma Vidojanaha. So here many devatas are being mentioned. The devata that is identified with Agni, which means a devata that says I am Agni. Then there is a devata that says I am Jyoti. There's a devata that says I am daytime. Shuklaha. There's a devata says I am the bright side of the. Now this is a bright side of the fortnight after Amavasya. The 15 days will be bright side of the fortnight. So that devata says I am the bright side of the fortnight. During these times, when the physical body drops and life departs from the physical body, Shuklaha, then there's another one more devata, Uttarayana devata. Shan Masa, for the first 6 months from January 14th onwards, from Uttarayanam Punya Kalam, that is around Makara Sankranti onwards, up till July, mid-July, will be 6 months, which is called Uttarayanam, very auspicious time, the northern movement of the sun. And then we will come to the next period. So the 4 devatas, Agni devata, Jyoti devata, the light devata, Aha devata, and the Uttarayana devata. When these devatas are there, Tatra Prayata Gachanti. When the individual leaves the body, when he has done so much of Punya Karma in this earth, and when he has contemplated on the Brahman, studied the Shastras, and done the sadhanas, purified the mind, then he may have the possibility of departing at this period of time when these things are there, when there is Agni, when there is the presence of heat, which means that when the Havan is happening. Jyoti is when there is light, when there is sunlight. Shukla, when it is a bright side of the fortnight. And then Uttarayanam, the 6 months during Uttarayanam, when all these combinations are together. That is when there is some kind of a lamp or a fire burning, when there is light is being shed, the light of lamp or fire, and when there is the Shukla Paksha, and when it is daytime, and when the 6 months of Uttarayanam is there, at that time death happens. The person definitely goes to that loka where he will not return. Tatra prayata gachanti Brahma Brahma Vido Janaha. Tatra prayata gachanti Brahma Brahma Vidaha Janaha. The people who know Brahman go to Brahman. So this also we saw the meaning yesterday from Shankara Bhashya. The person from Sadhyo Mukti, the one who has realized the Brahman and does not have any going and coming, is full of, he is bereft of all rajas. He is bereft of any desire. He is a very, very pure person. There is no going and coming for that person. He departs from the body, he just dissolves here, and that is called Sadhyo Mukti. The body goes to all the elements, and all the other aspects of the personality, like the subtle body, join. The subtle body is formed out of manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. They join their respective realms, and then the causal body, which is made of sattva guna, rajoguna, tamoguna, joins its respective realms, and there is nothing else that this person claims as his own, and he just gets absorbed in the Brahman. There is no going and coming for that person. As I mentioned, it is like sitting in this chair and moving to this chair. There is no other place that you need to go to. Brahma samlina prana eva te brahmamaya brahma bhuta eva te. They become brahma bhuta. It's a state of yoga. Brahma bhuta prasannatma. Brahma bhuta means become one with Brahman. There is only isness in that person. There is no other state. They don't have a name. They don't have a form. They don't have any kind of a guru parampara, people worshipping them, nothing. Everything is gone. They are merged completely with the Brahman. The next type of people, the 25th verse, Dhomo ratris tatha Krishnaha Shanmasa Dakshinayanam Tatra Chandramasam Jyotihi Yogi Prapya Nivartate. So at one point of time, the yogi, the one who has integrated the senses, the mind, the intellect, and the desires, and controlled everything, the yogi, he also can pass on at the Dakshinayana period, where the consciousness identifies, the Devata is identified as Dakshinayanam, the 6 months of the second half of the year, from July onwards to January, the darker solstice, when the winter solstice is coming. Dhomaha, the Devata identified with smoke. Every object in this world is identified by a Devata. Dhomaha, Ratrihi, the Devata identified with night. Devata means every time, wherever we are, whatever time of the day, there is some kind of a spiritual presence of a Devata around us. So it is the Surya Devata during the daytime, it is the Agni Devata, heat is there, then you have Jyoti Devata, light is there, then you have the Uttarayana Devata. These are all gods that are there. So whenever we celebrate a new year, we are actually celebrating a god, a birth of a god. This is a smoke god, the smoky path. There is the smoke Devata is there. He will come along with us. When we depart from the body, we are not alone. When we depart from the body, the smoke, at the different, that time of night, or in the Dakshinayana period, we go, Dhumaha, the smoke Devata follows us. Ratrihi, the night Devata follows us. Krishnaha, the Krishna Paksha Devata, the 15 days of the other half before the after the Paurnami, the 15 days is called the Krishna Paksha. The Krishna Paksha Devata follows us. And Dakshinayanam is the 6 months after the end of the 6 months of Uttarayanam, from June to January, mid-June to January. Tatra, mid-July to January. Tatra Chandramasam Jyotihi, the light of the moon. Earlier, the light of the sun was there, the Devata of the light of the sun was there. That is why when we do puja, we are invoking all these Devatas in our day-to-day life. Until the point of death, we do puja. And what happens is, once we leave the body, we will be able to identify the people who are around us. Oh, I've been praying to this Vishnu. I've been praying to this Shiva. I've been praying to this Surya. I've been praying to this Ganapati. They're all there. They will be visible for us. And we will be able to identify them. That is the purpose of the puja. If we don't do puja, if we don't know anything about it, even if they are there with us, we won't be able to identify them. And if we don't identify, our fear will not go. Our fear will be there, because we don't see, we may see them as strangers, and we may think that they're come out to get us or out to kill us or something. So this is to make the mind very calm and to know the truth of what is what in this world. See, the computer is very beautiful. The laptop has got a very beautiful screen, but inside the laptop, there is a mechanism, there is a process. If we know the process only, we will know how our face is appearing here, or how we are able to see all this. Otherwise, everything will become like we don't know what is what. Yogi, through this path, when they go in the smoky path, in the dark path, where in the Krishna Paksha path, and where there is moonlight, the path of the moonlight, yogi prapya nivartate. The yogi goes and he comes back. Now, the 26th verse, Shukla Krishne Gati Hyete Jagata Shashvate Mate Ekaya Yatyana Vrittim Anyaya Vartate Punaha. Shukla Krishne Gati Hyete. There are two paths for the subtle body after the point of death, after leaving the gross body. When we are in the gross body, we don't need to worry about it because we are very well protected. We are in the gross body, we are living here. It is a temporary home, this gross body. But when this home gets dismantled and the subtle body leaves, it travels through two paths, the white path and the dark path. Jagataha Shashvate Mate. There are two paths which are very permanent paths. Ekaya Yati Anavrittim. If you go by one path, you don't need to come back. You will reach your destination for sure. But if you go by the other path, you will come back. Why we are studying all this in the Bhagavad Gita? Because everybody at one point of time we will die. When we die, okay, yeah, I heard all this, right? There are two roads are visible. Let me take the bright road. We will make that decision. That is the reason why we study the Shastras. We study the Shastras because it is like studying the geographical map, studying the GPS. Before we set out and venture into some country, we are studying the map and then going. The map may not completely help us. We may get lost, but we will not get completely lost. We will know what to do if we study the map very well. So we are studying the map of the other world by studying the Bhagavad Gita. Ekaya yati anavritim. So when we look out, when we look around us, when we are disembodied, when we are leaving the body, we can see two paths. One path will be very brightly lit, and the other part will be very smoky. And night, there'll be moonlight in that path. Here, there'll be sunlight. There'll be fires all around, and there will be light, bright light, or it'll be a very well lit path. If we want to choose between the two paths, always when there's a fork in the road, we always get it out. If we choose this path, then we will reach. We will reach without coming back. But by mistake, by wandering into this path, because moonlight is better than sunlight sometimes. So if we wander into this moonlit path, then we will have to come back. We'll have to come back and know which path to go, and then go again in the solar path. Shukla Krishne, Shuklacha Krishnacha Shukla Krishne, Jnana Prakashatvat Shukla. What is the path called Shukla? Because it has got the light of knowledge. I know. I am very clear. This is the way I should go. Very, very certain, very sure. Tad abhavat Krishna. If that knowledge is not there, if you say, I don't know, how can I go? Where am I? Am I lost here? Where are all my people, my friends, my family, my colleagues? They're all left behind. What is this? Why am I like this? Why am I all alone? If I have all these thoughts, then it is the Krishna path. It's a path of darkness. Because we have all these fears, we have all these anxieties and worries in us. We have to come back and we have to resolve all those fears, anxieties, and worries, and then know which path to go. Ete Shukla Krishnehi Gati Jagata iti Adhikritanam Jnana Karmanoho na Jagataha Sarvasya eva ete Gati Sambhavataha. This is only for the people who are in the path of knowledge. They will be able to take the bright path. If you are not in the path of knowledge, if you are functioning with a lot of desires in this world, or even if you are a karma, you're only full of karma, full of actions, your mind is not completely settled, this path will not be visible for you. You will be able to see only the dark path. Shashvate nitye samsarasya nityatvat mate abhiprete. So this tatra ekaya shuklaya yati anavrittim anyaya itaraya avartante. punaha bhuyaha. So by one path you will not come, the other path you will return. What else? Naite sriti partha janan yogi muhyati kaschana tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjuna. You say you celebrate International Yoga Day, you practice yoga. Bhagavan is saying, why should I practice yoga? Na yete sriti partha janan yogi mukhyati kaschana. When the yogi departs from this body, he sees these two paths and he is very, very clear about it. He has no doubts. Yogi does not have doubts. He knows which path to go. Tasmat, therefore, earlier Bhagavan said, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. So remember me and fight and do your work in this world. Then what happens? You will not come back. Now he is concluding that by saying, you become a yogi by remembering me, and a yogi does not have any doubt. There is no doubt in his mind. The yogi takes the clear path. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. O Arjuna, remain a yoga yukta. Remain integrated in yoga. Bhava Arjuna. Na yete yathokte sriti margaha partha janan samsaraya eka anya mokshaya cha iti yogi na mukhyati kaschana kaschidapi tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yuktaha. At all times be in the state of yoga. You cannot be doing asanas all the time. Asana helps you to be in the state of yoga. Pranayama helps you to be in the state of yoga. Sarveshu kaleshu yoga yuktaha bhava. At all times be in the state of yoga. Samahitaha bhava, meaning keep your mind steady. Balance of mind is yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Be in a balanced state of mind. Shrunu yogasya mahatmyam. Now, this is the last verse of this chapter. It gives the mahatmyam of yoga. We celebrate the International Yoga Day. This is the greatness of yoga. Why the whole world is taking to yoga now? Because the whole world needs a way out of the samsara. They don't want to come again to the mess. They just want to be steady and move on in life. Everywhere people are talking about move on, moving on. When relationships are not good, I want to move on. I want to break up and I want to go. I want to keep going my way. Everybody wants to be in that balance. They want to be free of all problems in life. They want to be free of all afflictions in life. How long do we need to stick on to all that? We cannot do that. We are not meant for that. We want to be free. So the desire for freedom has increased in this world, and that is why yoga has become so popular. Shrunu yogasya mahatmyam. Listen to the greatness of yoga. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Vedeshu yajneshu. In the Vedas, in the yajnas, while doing tapas, while doing dana, yatta punya phalam. When you are abiding by the books, the knowledge of the Vedas, while you're doing yajnas, you get punya karma. You get a feedback from your action, and that feedback is a feel-good factor. You feel very good about yourself. There is a secretion of all these feel-good hormones like dopamine, endorphin, oxytocin, which is a permanent situation, not just temporarily, not because of something, but in spite of all this, you get. Yata punya phalam pradishtam, tat sarvam atyeti. Beyond all this is the joy, the bliss that the yogi endures, the yogi gets. Idam viditva adyam param sthanam upaiti. That yogi attains that supreme abode. Vedeshu samyak adhiteshu yajneshu sadgunyena anushthiteshu tapassu sutapteshu daneshu cha samyak datteshu yad yeteshu punyaphalam punyaphalam pradishtam shastrena atyeti atitya gacchati. The Shastras point out that by doing all this, you will get a lot of punya. The yogi goes beyond all this also. Shastrina atyeti gacchati tat sarvam phalajatam idam viditva sapta prashna nirnaya dwarena uktam Samyak avadharya anushthaya yogi param prakrishtam aishwaram sthanam upaiti pratipadyate adyam adau bhavam karanam brahma ityartha. The yogi attains to that Brahma, that supreme liberated space. When you become a yogi, when you are a yogi in your life, and then you die as a yogi, even if you have not become a Brahma Bhuta, even if you have not become Sadyo Muktaha, that is, in this birth itself, I am liberated. If we have not become that, we die as a yogi. What happens? A yogi goes in that subtle body, he is able to see the path in which he has to walk, the path of no return. He goes into that, and there is no returning from that path for the yogi. With this, we come to the end of the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. It is called the Akshara Brahma Yoga. In this edition, it is called Taraka Brahma Yoga. Om Tatsaditi Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Akshara Brahma Yogo Nama Ashtamodhyayaha. So next month we will look into the 9th chapter. After realizing that this is the way to the supreme truth, then what happens? What is there about, what do we need to know about Bhagavan is being explained in the 9th chapter. Bhagavan Ishvara talks about himself. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. हरि ओम। बोलिए श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम।